We really killed her.
Yeah, of course. It's amazing, the detail that goes into working out a scene like that. Alex Wu, one of our staff writers, came up with that scene and came up with that moment. And then the work that goes into it is, how do we make it, how can we make that visually that thing? How do we do that? So, snap the chick's neck. So Mariana ended up having to go and have a full life cast made of her body, which was then presented to me to go home and play with for the night. I mean, why not? There were two, I just couldn't help myself. And so basically, it's me on a bed, with the torso strapped to me, so that when I move in it, the thing moves. And the neck itself was articulated, so that as you turned the neck, it ratcheted like a ratchet. And then it got to a point where it stopped, and then we had to film Mariana's on her front, so that they had front with the arms, and then we had to shoot her so she was on her back, sorry, then on her front with her head down in that position, and then they married the two images together. Absolutely insane and fantastic.
I mean, that to me, that was one of the more kind of grotesque moments of True Blood, but at the same time, one that was really cool. Do you guys have kind of favorite gross out moments, like all of you, in terms of what you filmed? Do you have favorite kind of moments of gore and grossness?
I have one, but it hasn't come out yet.
Oh, interesting.
Last season, when Marianne takes over Grand's house, and I come home, there was a small naked man in my sink who was doing something that looked quite intimate with what I believe were some intestines.
Yeah.
There was also an animal head of some sort on the kitchen table, and a half-clad Mike Spencer lying on the floor. That was pretty interesting.
Sticks in the middle.
Yeah. Speaking of Marianne, Rutina, Tara just has a penchant for loons. I don't know what is wrong with her. She loves a loony person. She needs to go on Match.com and find someone that is not a crazy loon. And now she's with Franklin, who again is a complete psychopath. I mean, why is she drawn to these people? Is it that she's searching for something? I mean, what is it?
Looking for love all around. She, I don't know. I just think she attracts these types of people who, love to see someone who plays the victim all the time. I think when Tara actually gets close to loving someone or gets intrigued by someone, she immediately runs away.
Yeah.
Like we've seen her do it with Sam, we've seen her do it with James. She's like, I think I kind of like you, I'm gonna go over here. Right. And I think that's an insecurity that she has and this defense mechanism that she puts up. And I think that's learned from her childhood. Yeah. Because she has no father around, and usually women who grow up without a man in their life, they usually have some male issues. So, she's a little unstable right now, but I'm hoping for some stability in the near future.
Speaking of being drawn to disturb people, Sam, Sam's family is pure Maury Povich trash. He needs a DNA test up in this piece because So why is Sam so intent on helping them? Because they're clearly not well-balanced people. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think Sam is really intent, wants to help his brother. And the family kind of goes along with the brother. Unfortunately, that's not going to be necessarily the best thing in the family.
Denis, I was on set in in March, and you and I I was lucky enough to talk to you, and you had created this entire backstory for Russell that was kind of fascinating because you're a total history buff, right?
Too much time on my hands.
Yeah. So tell me, if you can share with the audience a little bit of what you sort of created for Russell.
Well, Alan gives us a great skeleton or starting point, and then he encouraged us to go ahead and fill things in. He's incredibly generous that way. And I would write him these long, scary stalker emails where I would say, I think it's really cool if he was alive in 2800 BC, or he was a Celt, or he was a pagan. And I would get these lovely one-sentence responses saying, okay, good, Denis. But I laid off after a while, but I love doing research, and it doesn't always end up in the actual script, but for us it's really important because it kind of informs how we behave, informs how we think. And it was a great opportunity with this character to, I don't know, create a vampire who had such an ancient way of thinking, a different morality, a different way of relating to humanity, a different way of relating to werewolves. And I love the fact that I was given the opportunity, and I ran wild with it.
Oh, that's awesome. Alan, you are working on another project with Oprah, and I'm wondering if the Big O watches True Blood.
I don't know. I've never actually spoken to Oprah.
Oh.
She won't take my call. So, no, I have no idea.
Okay.
But we're working on something else. But I have yet to actually make her acquaintance.
I mean, speaking of celebrities, how did the Snoop Dogg kind of video come about? Was that...
I knew that Snoop was a fan of the show and that he wanted to be on it since the first season. But I am so busy when we're in production. Basically, I heard, oh, they're shooting a Snoop Dogg video this weekend.
Oh.
And I went, oh, wow, that's cool. And then I saw it on Monday.
What did y'all think of that, the whole cast? What did you guys think of that video?
I loved it. I particularly loved the Sugats.
They were fantastic. Yeah.
I don't know if any of you know, but there is a porn video version of our show. And I believe the Sugats in Snoop's video wore the same wig that the porn Eric wore.
It's a very Carol Channing-esque wig. It's very Carol Channing, Hello Dolly. Lovely. Have you guys run into any other celebrities that are hardcore True Blood fans? Because True Blood does attract such loyal fans, like Snoop Dogg. Have you run into any other celebs that have pleaded their allegiance to True Blood?
Well, I haven't run into her, but a friend of mine, it was passed on to me that Elizabeth Taylor likes True Blood.
Oh, really?
My friend is her lawyer, and she likes it.
Cameo, let's write down Cameo.
That's pretty neat.
Like the vampire queen of Lady Town. I don't know what she would be, but...
Anne Rice is a huge fan of the show.
Oh, really? Nelsan, you and Jesus, that last scene, the last episode, the scene between you two was so, the first scene of you two meeting or like seeing each other outside Merlot was awesome, but I think is it safe to assume, since it's True Blood, that he's not just a nice nurse in a cute purple polo? Is there more lurking between the surface of Jesus?
I don't know, I guess you have to wait and see.
Oh, you keep it. But has that relationship, has that been a fun one to play? Because, finally Lafayette's getting some loving.
Yeah, normally any love making with Lafayette, there's a financial transaction. But it's good that you see the other side, to where the soft side of Lafayette, to where he's falling for somebody. That soft side. It's a good plan. Yeah.
Deborah Ann, what are Hoyt and Jessica, is it ever gonna happen? Why can't these crazy kids make it work? Is there a reconciliation in the future at all? Can you tease that?
Well, first of all, can we get over Jim Perrick? I always sort of thought that if I did my job, I would know that if everybody in the world fell in love with Hoyt Fortenberry. So if that's true, then I feel really good. But